I remember the exact moment I decided not to defend myself. It was at her parents' dining table. The good plates were out, her father carving lamb with slow precision, her mother refilling glasses before anyone asked. It should have felt warm. Instead, I felt displayed. I had been laid off 3 months earlier. The company folded abruptly. I'd taken contract work while interviewing, keeping most of it quiet until something solid materialized. I didn't want to announce uncertainty as if it were identity. My wife didn't share that instinct. "It's been hard," she said lightly, cutting her food. "Carrying everything alone." Her sister tilted her head. "He's still looking." I swallowed before answering, but my wife answered for me. "He says he's being selective," she said, smiling. "But selective doesn't pay bills." A few chuckles, not cruel, just comfortable. I kept my hands folded. I could have listed the second-round interviews, the consulting hours, the upcoming meeting on Monday. But I had learned something about public defense. Once you start explaining your worth, you've already accepted the premise that it's questionable. She leaned back in her chair. "I just wish he'd admit it's not working." The word admit landed harder than the rest, as if I were denying something obvious. Her father cleared his throat but didn't intervene. Her mother stared at her plate. The room chose neutrality. My wife laughed softly. "Honestly, sometimes I feel like I married potential instead of a partner." That one stayed in the air. I felt the heat rise in my neck, not rage. Something slower, a quiet inventory of the last decade. The risks I had taken when she wanted security. The evenings I worked while she studied. The relocation for her promotion. The way I'd told her about the interview earlier that week, and how she'd nodded without looking up from her phone. I could have responded sharply. I could have reminded her who funded the down payment. But humiliation turns ugly when it's competitive. I wasn't willing to compete for dignity. Her phone buzzed against the table. She glanced at it, frowned slightly. It buzzed again. She flipped it over. The name on the screen was large enough for the reflection to catch in her wine glass. She hesitated. "Take it," her mother said gently. My wife stood, but the room was small. We could hear everything. "Hello." Her tone shifted almost immediately, straight and professional. "Yes." "This is she." A pause. "I see." Her eyes flicked toward me. "Right now." Another pause. She looked confused now. "I think you might have the wrong." She stopped speaking. I recognized the voice coming faintly through the speaker. The managing partner from the firm I'd interviewed with twice. The one she had dismissed as "another maybe." "Yes," the voice said clearly enough for the table to hear. "We've finalized the offer for your husband. We weren't able to reach him earlier, so we're confirming through the emergency contact listed on his application." Silence. My wife stared at me as if I'd orchestrated something theatrical. "The compensation package was sent an hour ago." The voice continued. "Base plus performance structure. We'd like his decision by tomorrow." Her father stopped chewing. Her sister lowered her glass. My wife swallowed. "I'll tell him." She ended the call slowly. No one spoke. I didn't rush to fill it. Her father finally looked at me. "Is that good news?"
Yes?
I said. My voice surprised me with how steady it sounded. "It is." No speech, no smirk, just fact. My wife sat down carefully, like the chair had changed shape. "You didn't tell me it was finalized?" she said. "It wasn't," I replied. "Until today." The air had shifted. Not dramatically. Just enough that everyone could feel the recalibration. Her earlier words were still in the room. Potential instead of partner. Not working. Admit it. Now there was a document in her inbox that contradicted the narrative she had built 15 minutes earlier. Her mother reached for the wine bottle again, hands slightly unsteady. "Well," she said softly, "that's wonderful." But it didn't feel wonderful. It felt clarifying. Dinner resumed in fragments. Polite questions about start dates, location, benefits. I answered minimally, not to punish. Just because I was tired. On the drive home, she was quiet. "I was joking," she said eventually. "I know," I said. "You could have said something." I didn't need to. That was the first honest sentence of the night. The offer letter arrived while we were stopped at a red light. My phone vibrated in the cup holder. I didn't open it immediately. I watched the light change from red to green. For the first time in months, my future didn't feel like something I had to argue into existence. At home, she hovered in the doorway of the office while I read the details. "It's a big opportunity," she said carefully. "It is. You're going to take it." I looked at her then, really looked. The job was real. The leverage was real. But so was the echo of her laughter across that dining table. "I haven't decided yet," I said. And that was true. Because rebuilding self-worth isn't about proving someone wrong in public. It's about deciding, quietly, what you're no longer willing to tolerate in private. The offer was confirmation. The decision, this time, would be mine.